Hey everybody, Fight Fan here, talking about Roy Jones. I look at Roy Jones's legacy as a career that is told in two parts. Roy Jones had a style that was quite original. You could take the style of Cassius Clay, Robinson, kind of mix those together with the power of Joe Louis. I look at a fighter that was actually very well put together. He had a great body, great hands, great skill, amazing footwork. But what separated him from other fighters was the fact that he had amazing reflexes. And with those reflexes, it made him a beautiful, unorthodox fighter. Those are the type of fighters that are hard to fight. They're hard to train for. They're tough fights for any opponent. They have defensive styles to avoid getting hit, and that's what made Roy Jones amazing. He had just the right amount of power because his opponents would have to, one, come after him and go out their way to land something. I mean, Jones is right in front of them, moving and weaving. Arms are nowhere near on a defensive front, so he's right in front of you. Throw the shot, thinking you're gonna land something, and you hit nothing but air. And next thing you're eating a shot, could be to your face, to your body, and next thing you know, you're seeing stars. So that's what made Jones amazing. And I go through his fights, and he had knockout power, but I think it's also a combination of landing a hard shot when his opponent was off balance, and that's the key. His opponents always have to go the extra mile, out of their way, out of their comfort zone to fight him. So when he's countering an off-balance fighter with a very good shot. Virgil Hill knocked him out with a body punch. That was very rare. I mean, it happens, but it's not a common thing. And then he made guys he was fighting look silly. At the end of the day, that unorthodox style, that speed, and those reflexes was what made him, plus the right amount of power he had. So his style was a gift. Nobody moved like that. I mean, it was incredible. Ali never moved like that. I know when Jones fought Martell Griffin the first time, I don't think Jones took him seriously. I don't think Jones trained as hard for him. So that fight became a little more difficult for Jones. But Jones did catch up to him and hurt him. The mistake Jones made was hitting him while he was down. That's why Jones got disqualified for that, but then he avenged it pretty beautifully in their rematch. Now, my issue with Jones and his camp is this. Jones, now, his career was going perfectly. His fights were great to watch. Pretty much as you come to watch him. Now, when I heard he was going to move to heavyweight to fight John Louis, I thought that was pretty cool. Not realizing that there was one person waiting for him that he probably should have fought before moving up in weight, and that was Antonio Tarver. So he moves up in weight and faces John Louis and wins the title. At the end of the day, he should have stayed at heavyweight. Once he moved down in weight, having to lose 25 pounds of pure muscle, that, my friend, is what changed Jones, and that's the second part of his career. A lot of professional analysts are saying, oh, the talent has caught up to him. That is not the case. The moment Jones went back down in weight, we're talking 25 pounds of muscle. He shocked his body. That is why he became a different fighter. He was never the same. He lost his speed. He lost his skill. He lost all the gifts that made him great. He was just a regular, flat-footed opponent at this point. And you could see he was struggling, trying to find that magic that he once had. He should have stayed in heavyweight and continued his career. So, in my opinion, that is why he hasn't been the same since. I personally wish that he hang him up. I don't know why he's still fighting. He had a style that was perfect. I don't know why he moved up in weight as soon as he did. He should have taken care of business. Tarver lucked out because he never faced a Jones that basically wasn't at his best. Jones was barely a shell of himself once he went back down. Yeah, he won the first fight versus Tarver, but many people can say, yeah, it could have gone either way. So I'll just leave it at that. But then after that, Jones just started eating one loss after another. I mean, if you look at the Tarver and Tarver knocked him out, he threw like 2 shots and he missed. Well, 2 things would have happened. 1, he would have made those shots, and 2, he wouldn't be there for Tarver to hit him. Same thing when he fought Glenn Johnson. Again, totally different fighter. Jones was never a flat-footed fighter. He was never an easy target. But once he lost those 25 pounds of muscle, that's it. He killed his career after that. He was never the same. And I know he's been trying to find it, trying to get it back, but he should have stayed in heavyweight or not moved to heavyweight at all. If you have business to take care of in your weight class, you take care of that before you move on to another division. That's a decision that he's going to have to live with, and one that I just, to this day, don't get. He should have taken care of Tarver first before moving up in weight. If he would have done that, I guarantee you he probably would have had a great career in the heavyweight division. I'm not going to say he would have been undefeated in the heavyweight division because, it's much tougher opponents. But if he had that unorthodox skill or learned to get it with the extra weight, I think he would have had a very nice career in the heavyweight division. But again, to move up and then move back down was ridiculous. Now, I know he's in the class of Michael Spink and Evander Holyfield, fighters moving up from light heavy or cruiserweight to fight a heavyweight champion and win. So he's in a good class because that's something that's not done often. But at the end of the day, those guys stayed in heavyweight and continued to find success. He's the only one that I can think of that went down in weight, and to this day, it ruined his career. He shocked his body, and that's why he hasn't been the same. And I just wanted to hang him up and just move on. I know he had a few successes, but he was a shell of himself. And so when these analysts are saying the competition has caught up with him, I found it to be a joke, and that's not the case. No, he screwed himself up, his camp screwed him up, and that's pretty much what happened. He should have stayed in heavyweight and continued on there and retired as a heavyweight. End of discussion. So thank you for checking in. Hope you guys are having a great holiday. Thank you so much, and God bless. Bye-bye.